All right, folks, it's Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Let's get this show started, shall we? Hey, and good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you Monday through Friday. Talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local. That's right. Hey, and I want to welcome everybody to the show this morning. Hope you had a good weekend. I know I did. I had a really good weekend. Got out riding with the wifey this weekend, and we'll talk all about that in just a minute. But had a great weekend with family, friends. Got to watch a little bit of sports. Actually, I got to watch a lot of sports this weekend. I mean, a lot. Yeah, a lot of sports this weekend. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the Vegas Golden Knights stuff, the Aces, the Aviators, all those guys in just a minute. I want to welcome all my friends who are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. I hope you're checking us out. If you are, especially on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Okay, subscribe to our channel. We're here all the time, folks. We get some stuff that you probably never even hear before. If you're trying to keep up with what's going on in Las Vegas, Living in Vegas is the place to be at. So I want to welcome all of our friends who are watching us on our Living in Vegas pages. And we have several of them. And so I'm clicking through them right now, just checking everybody out. And getting a lot of messages over the weekend. I probably should check them even more, but I got really busy this weekend. And super busy this weekend. And just didn't have time to check all the messages. Was checking them this morning, and to say the least, we had quite a few. So, let me tell you what happened this weekend. Well, let's do this first. Let's pay a bill real quick, and then we'll get into the show, and that way you'll get to watch the entire show with none of the interruptions. Here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Wow, and folks, Vegas Livin Expos is coming, folks. We got 1 month to go before Vegas Livin Expos hits the runway. We're going to be out at the fabulous Cannery Casino August 3rd. Starts about 7 o'clock to about 9 o'clock in the evening, or I think it's actually earlier, 6 to 9 or something like that. It'll be the home show, so if you are a vendor who's into crafts, home appliances, furniture, paint, renovations, that kind of stuff, definitely you want to get a hold of us. Contact us at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com. And you can actually be a part of Vegas Livin Expos coming August 3rd to the Cannery Casino. So some of you, this might be the first time that you're actually even checking us out. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. This is our current issue of Livin in Vegas magazine. Very cool thing. I mean, it really is. If you want to see what's going on in Las Vegas, this is the magazine for you, folks. There's things in Livin in Vegas magazine and our sister publication, Livin Weekly magazine, that you're just not going to find anyplace else. You just aren't. And there's a reason why, because we go out looking for people. I mean, we look for Livin Weekly magazine. We're going to have that out today. So Livin Weekly, we'll actually have that out today. Once again, sorry we were so busy this weekend. We didn't have a chance to get out Livin Weekly, Very cool issue that we're going to be coming out with. So be sure, if you're not on our mailing list, you want to get on our mailing list for Livin Weekly magazine and Livin in Vegas magazine. Just so many cool things that we've got going on. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on, what happened this weekend. Because it was a very busy weekend, and you probably aside, and we'll talk about the abortion issue here in just a second. It's really kind of not, we don't want to spend all day long talking about it, but it's definitely something we want to talk about here in the city of Las Vegas. So the wifey and I, we got, my wife got, my brother-in-law Chip gave us a bicycle. Okay, not just any bicycle. He gave us an electric bicycle, and the electric bike is it's called a Pedigo. We've probably talked about it on the show before. It's called a Pedigo. I believe they're out of California. I think that's where he bought his, anyways. Top of the line electric bicycle, very cool, very big, very heavy, and so Chip told me about it. I don't know, 2 weeks ago. He said, "Hey, I want to give you this bike," and I said, "Oh, okay, that's great. I appreciate it." And so Chip and I go riding all the time. And you guys all know about this. We go riding all the time, our road bikes, and but ours are not motorized. And so Chip a while ago he bought a couple of these. My brother-in-law is a very just a great guy. You know, he's a booster for UNLV. He's a trustee. He's all this other stuff. Realtor. Just a great guy. He's the big brother. My big brother in Las Vegas, because my other big brother lived in California. And so Chip he loves me. I love him. We love our families. We love everybody. It's a very close-knit family. So Chip goes, "Hey, I want to give you this." And I go, "Hey, Chip, I really appreciate it." And I knew he meant it. But I got busy. And then I got sick. and so he calls me up and he goes, "Sure, I'm going to come over to your house and bring this bike." And I said, "Chip, I'll just come over and get it, but I'll just come and get it. I'll put it in the back of the truck." He goes, "Sure." He goes, it's like a motorcycle. It's a big bike." So Chip rode the bike over to our house last week, and we put it on a charger, charged it up. My wife and I went riding this weekend. Fun. Now for those of you who don't know my wife's name is Linda, and Linda has not ridden a bicycle in years. She has very bad asthma, so my wife does not go out, riding with me. We ride with the guys. We have a pack of guys that go out riding, and the wives generally are doing their thing. So my Chip's wife doesn't. Her name's Helen. She doesn't ride. Daryl, his wife doesn't. George, Bill, Russell, all the guys. None of their wives ride with us. We're just a bunch of guys that go out riding. So when Chip said, "Hey, I'm going to give you this bike," I said my wife will ride with me on an electric bike because it has the pedal assist, and it's got a throttle and all this other stuff. So we had such a great time. So I just want to say that in front of everybody. Thank you, Chip, so much. You gave Linda and I something else to do together. We've been married many years, and so we had a good time. Anyways, I just want to tell you about that. Okay. Once again, if you're on our Facebook page, folks, you're checking us out, please don't hesitate in saying hi, Sherm. As a matter of fact, last week we had one of the guys who was on our Livin Weekly page, and I saw it, but I didn't say anything about it. That I didn't say, hey, how's it going? Chime in. So I want to make sure that we let you guys know that we are watching you. We do answer most of our stuff that's on YouTube, that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, let's talk about the YouTube channel thing. So there was a boat out at Lake Mead and got stuck. A guy came in to one of the launch areas, and he had engine problems with his boat, and the boat he didn't realize that the lake level has been going down, and nobody would have anticipated that it would have gone down that much to get his boat stuck. So as the story goes, this guy, where's the story at? Okay, there it is. And so the guy didn't realize how bad it was. So his guy's name is Craig Miller, And Craig Miller had a houseboat, got stuck June 4th. So it's been a couple days now. And he's a YouTuber, and I guess he showed that his boat was stuck on YouTube. Well, there's another YouTuber and his son, Adrian, another set of YouTubers, and I'm going to let everybody know about this too. So the video was posted on Sin City Outdoors. That's the name of the Miller's outdoor page. Okay, so and about 2 million people saw that this boat was stuck. Well, another set of YouTubers, let me get their names right. They have a YouTube channel. I'll give them props here. Heavy D Sparks. So Heavy, it's all one word. Heavy D with a D Sparks. They saw that the boat had been stuck also, so they got permission from the Park Service to try to drag this guy's boat into, water so his boat could float. Park Service said yes. Guy drug him out. Said it took him a couple hours, but they were able to do it. So congratulations. See, that's the Vegas style. That's what we do in Vegas. How cool, isn't it? And so Sin City Outdoors and Heavy. So Sin City Outdoors is 2 words or 3 words. Sin City Outdoors is a YouTube channel. You got to check this out. And then Heavy D Sparks, all one word. They've got YouTube channels. They're going to put it up there. I can't wait to see it. We'll put it out, showing them do a rescue on this boat because it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff that they're doing. So let's talk a little bit about the obvious. It's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. It's the landmark decision by the Supreme Court of the United States. And over the weekend, on Friday, they said that there is nothing in the Constitution that gives a woman the right to an abortion. Now, many of you know, 73, landmark decision, Roe versus Wade, gave women the right to have an abortion. And for 50 years now, that has been the law of the land. 60 million kids have been killed, the whole thing. So we don't want to go into all this other stuff. But about a month ago, 2 months ago, an opinion was leaked from the Supreme Court that said, hey, these justices are thinking about overturning Roe versus Wade. That they think it was a bad decision and it was an unconstitutional decision. It was a bad law. Because, so there's 3 branches of government, and we'll do this really quick, folks. 3 branches of government, okay? Executive, legislative, and the judicial. And the president is the enforcement power. Judicial is the ones who interpret the law. And the lawmakers are the legislative, okay? Well, in the judicial branch, they, in 1973, said, hey, this is law. And they basically made up a law. That's really what it was. They made up a law that said, hey, a woman had a constitutional right to an abortion because it's not in the Constitution. That's kind of basically what it is. Well, be that as it may, women have had the right to have an abortion, some up to the time of birth, for 50 years now. Okay? Well, that was overturned Friday. To a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court of the United States said, that's it. That's not the way it's supposed to be, guys. If you want to have a law that says that you can have an abortion and it's not enumerated or it's not said in the Constitution, you got to kick it back to the states. And the states have to individually say, yes, this is cool. And that's what they did. They said, okay, look, we're not outlawing abortion because we can't. We're the judicial branch. We can't do any of that stuff. You have to, as legislators in your state, okay, because it's not in the Constitution. It's not a right in the Constitution. Not like gun laws. I mean, the Second Amendment, that's in the Constitution, okay? They can do something about that. But if it's not in the Constitution, you actually have to have states. That's what the Constitution says. The states have to say it's yay or nay. And that's what they did. So now individual states have the right to say yay or nay on the abortion issue. Here in the state of Nevada, we back in 1989, 1990, put it in our Constitution that you can have an abortion. I think it's 24 weeks. After 24 weeks, you can't, but up to 24 weeks, you can have an abortion. And so, as you can imagine, people were very upset. There was a few riots, quite a few people arrested, burning, looting, that kind of stuff. And so it's going to continue on, folks. It's going to continue on for the next, who knows how long it's going to be. We'll keep you up to date on that. But here in the state of Nevada, so I want to put it in parentheses, here in the state of Nevada, since 1990, we have had it in our state constitution that a woman has a right to an abortion. I think it's the same thing in California, that they give a woman a right to have an abortion, and a handful of states that do. What happened in quite a few states, though, right when the Roe v. Wade was overturned, they retroactively said, that's it. No, you're not going to have abortions here. Places like Mississippi, Florida, blah, blah, blah. Quite a few places. Utah said, no, we're not going to do it. If you want to have an abortion, you go someplace else and have an abortion. And that's their right. Okay, that's kind of what it is. Okay. So we'll come back to that, folks, really. Let's go on to a happier note. It's not happier, actually. It's not happy at all. The Las Vegas Aces. Man, we lost again this weekend. So the Aces, we were so close, folks. We went to an overtime game and lost to the Mystics. And then we lost. So we lost. I think we lost 2 out of 3 this weekend. Yeah, I think we're 13-4 now, and we lost in an overtime, just a nail biter, 87-86. And it's. So are we on the skids? No, not even close. You know, you're expected to lose a few games. No matter how much talent you have on your team, you're probably going to lose a game here or there. So it is what it is. But we'll, but on a better note, the Aviators won. Yeah, the Aviators won this weekend. We're very excited about that. I had the score up here and I can't find it now. They play again tomorrow, which is great, and they'll play against the Round Rock. So they'll. I think they're playing they're playing out of town coming up, so it should be cool. I wrote to the FC Lights. Okay, FC Lights are our soccer team, and I said, look, guys, I cannot find anything on you guys. Your website, you guys really need to do something with your website so it actually shows if you've won a game or you've not won a game. I mean, there's a lot of promotions about what, who this, that, and everything, but it doesn't actually tell you if you won a game or not. So hopefully they'll give me something. I'd really like you to find out about the FC Lights because they're actually a pretty cool team. And they've got some guys that are going to be playing in this game coming up. There's going to be a game over at the Allegiant Stadium here in another couple of weeks. So, and we need to let you know about it because I know a lot of you really want to go to these games. Okay. Anyways, okay, so we just got 10 minutes. We'll do the rest of the show here. So tomorrow we won't. As a matter of fact, Wednesday, I have I'm going to be doing a podcast for a friend of mine. She has a podcast called Chic Compass, and they do fashion. They do fashion and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be able to interview a premier fashion designer Wednesday. So I'm very excited about that. Just very cool about that I'm going to be doing the podcast for a friend of mine, and I'll tell you all about it when it's over. We're going to be doing it over at Caesar's Palace, so I'm going to be very excited about that. Many of you are noticing that I'm wearing a tie. You've not seen me wear a tie. And guys, I'll tell you, I used to wear a tie every day, each and every day. And when I was on the road, when I was a singer on the road, I wore a tie every day. Actually, I had a mark on my on my neck. I had a mark on my neck because we used to wear a bow tie, and I'd worn my bow tie so often that I actually had a bow tie mark on my throat. I know. From it was a shadow. It was a what do they call it? A tan line from my neck. Cummerbunds, that kind of stuff. Well, we talk about living in Vegas means living local. It also means the return of cool. Okay, trying to be cool again because we are cool. Because really, living in Vegas means you're living in a place that has a history. And our history here in Vegas, Sammy Davis Jr., the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Joey Bishop, Elvis. Everybody wants to be here. Wayne Newton. I can go on and on and on. And guess what? We have headliners that come here all the time, folks. And the only reason why they come here, because we're cool. There's no doubt about it. Right now, we are the center of the cool universe, folks. So, you're going to see some changes here, folks. You're going to see a little bit of changes moving forward. Very excited about this. My wife and I were talking about this. We were going, honey, this is the direction of living in Vegas. Because if you're not coming here, folks, because you're coming here for the gambling, even though it's cool, but you're coming here for the coolness factor. Oh yeah, you're coming here for the coolness factor, and we got it. We want to show it to you, and I'm very excited about the whole coolness factor that you're going to be seeing here in Las Vegas. What else? Let's talk about just a couple more things, and we'll. Many of you know that the primary elections were a couple weeks ago. They were on the 14th, and they had till I think they had till Tuesday of last week to actually get this done. So they actually had to be done. So no, so they actually had to have the they had to have it by. So what I'm looking at here, folks. I'm looking at when the vote count had to be tabulated. I think it was like a week after the election, so it had to be like the 21st or something like that. Finally, it happened. Okay, so we are actually certified. That's where I just want to put this. Okay, we have certified our election here, our primary election here in Las Vegas, much to the chagrin of some folks. Some folks were really kind of saying, hey, things are not going to work. It's not cool. We don't think that the election results are the way they should be. Generally it's because their guy lost. Okay, it's not that there was anything, untoward. At least, this time. There was some questions last time. You got to be fair about this. There were some questions last time that hey, things were not as cool. This time, they had people with eagle eyes. We were not getting away with anything, and the primary election, and the general election will be much the same. Where if anybody was going to do anything, probably not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have a lot of eyeballs watching this general election. And speaking of that, folks, this was I think there was a revelation that was disclosed. The Associated Press said this. They did a poll, and they said that there was a major shift in the amount of people. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying people switch party affiliations all the time. Okay, this is not a political show, folks. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put this out there real quick. That 1 million people switched their party affiliation from Democrat to Republican nationwide, and it's a major shift. It's not even a small shift. It's a major shift where people did that. And so the general election, Nevada is a blue state right now, and which means we have a democratically controlled. Excuse me. governorship and both houses of Congress. So, um, could things switch back to the way they were back in 89, 90? I don't know. We'll find out. Do we have time for one more? Oh, yeah, I do. I've got time for one more. So, out at UNLV. UNLV, you guys know I love UNLV. I'm a UNLV guy. Been watching golf out there, and we just got a letter of commitment from Morgan Goldstein. Morgan played her last 3 seasons at Iowa. She's actually a Vegas native, but she went to school in Iowa. And she says, "Hey, I'm going to finish out my years, the 22-23 season here at Vegas." Now, this is telling, okay? This isn't just, "Hey, I want to come home." No, she's been going to Iowa for 3 seasons now, okay? Why not finish up in Iowa? Why not? Well, because Vegas is cool. You know, we have a lot of people who go from Vegas, UNLV, to the pros, and there's a lot of people in Iowa too. But there was actually a study that was done, and we talked about this a couple months ago, that said there's a disproportionate number of people who go to the pros or go to the pro level from UNLV than any other college. You know, I mean, we all talk about Princeton and Harvard and, all these other schools, Yale and Stanford and everything else. Okay, they do great. They put out great product, okay? But UNLV is under the radar that we do some great things. We have a lot of people who become very famous coming from UNLV, okay? I mean, it's amazing. And so Morgan Goldstein said, "Hey, you know what? I'm here. I am here, and I'm back, and I'm excited about what's going on, and we're excited to have her back, which is great." Last story. Okay, so she'll be playing golf out here at UNLV. So I just want to make sure that you know it. Last story. There was Title IX, which is a landmark legislation that ushered in women's sports. To actually support women's sports. Title IX had its 50th birthday, 50th anniversary last week. Okay, so they're actually going to be having an event here in Las Vegas. What's it called? Where's it at? Okay, I gotta find it really quick. It's called the Women's Sports Council. Launched the inaugural conference in Las Vegas, and what they're doing is they're celebrating and they're looking at and they're evaluating what Title IX has done and how they can firm it up. So that's really what the whole thing is about. And it started over the weekend. It's going to continue to run, I believe, through Tuesday. Is that what it is running through? Yeah, it started off on Sunday, and I think it's going to run through till Thursday. No. Yeah, Tuesday. It's going to be at the Ahern Hotel. I'm going to actually go down there and check it out and see what's going on with the women's thing. It's very cool. So you can find out more information on it at iconswomen.com. Icons, so ICONS women.com. You'll find out more information on it, which is very cool. So really support women's sports. Many of you know this already. If I'm going to watch sports during the day, and they put on a men's sports or the women's sports, I'm more likely going to watch the women's sports. Okay, that's how much I support the women's sports industry. I think they're doing awesome. Love the Aces. If the Aces games were on all the time, I would probably watch that. Okay. Anyways, folks, we've got to get out of here. We will see you again tomorrow. We'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events shape city of Las Vegas, folks. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local, and also think the return of cool. Oh, yeah. This has been Sherman Ray. We'll talk to you soon.